So as a new final expense agent, should you start the business with a free lead program provided by your agency, or should you start the business as a business owner where you pay for your own leads? And what I'm going to be doing in today's video is really talking about the pros and cons of both to help you decide which is best for you. My name is David Duford. I own Duford Insurance Group. I train agents nationally to sell final expense, Medicare, and annuities face-to-face and over the phone. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you happen to enjoy this content, and feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions. Thanks as always for watching. Okay, so let's jump into the idea of whether or not you should pay for your leads or not, and take free leads instead in the final expense business. So we're going to again start with is really just go over the pros of both and kind of simultaneously talk about the cons, and then hopefully at the end of this help you decide for yourself which direction is going to be best suited for you. So first of all, let's talk about the pros of having a free lead program. So first of all, I mean, the biggest thing, of course, with a free final expense lead program is that you don't have any out-of-pocket expenses for your leads. There's no worry about investing on a weekly basis into your lead programs. Hopefully, your agency will be smart enough to keep you busy. That's a whole nother subject in and of itself with new or fresh leads or whatever kind of leads they're providing. So you don't ever have to worry about, am I going to see people the following week? And do I have to put money out to actually buy the leads? That's the most obvious and the biggest advantage of that. The other part of that is that if this business doesn't turn out for you, you haven't lost thousands upon thousands of dollars in your failed business strategy. You've only lost your time, which, you know, that's not good either, but it didn't cost you anything other than that time spent and maybe some gas to drive around or get on the phone and call. Thirdly, there's no lead management issues. Again, one of the things that a lot of agents don't understand that go into buying leads is that starting the buying or purchasing lead process is that you got to always be investing in leads every single week. And yeah, that may sound fine and acceptable as a new agent, but when you get out there and you have a crappy week, or maybe 2 crappy weeks in a row, and you're looking at your credit card and you're thinking, well, do I want to put another $700 on my lead card, or do I want to like work some cheaper leads or something? There's always going to be this debate to a greater or lesser extent in most agents about buying leads on a weekly basis. And you don't have to worry about that when you're in the position of having somebody else do it. You just worry about getting them, are they there in front of me from my agency, and going to sell. So there is some level in the free lead zone to have some form of simplification to your final expense sales business. So as we talk about now the pros of investing in your leads, we're going to kind of talk about the cons as well with getting free leads. So we kind of see both sides of the coin here coming up. So here's the thing with buying your own leads. You should, and that requires due diligence and research, because it's not always this way. Because it is with mine, I believe, but as far as my agency goes, but not as far as other agencies. You should have maximal commission opportunity. Why is that the case? Well, if you're investing in a business and you're putting your money out there, you're financially now at risk, not just the time risk with free leads, but now financially at risk because you're buying and investing in your own leads, right? Well, if that's the case, then that relieves some of the cost risk to the agency. It's moved from the agency to you. And I think in exchange for that removal of risk, you should have a higher commission. It should give you the maximal opportunity to make the most money. It just makes sense, right? I mean, think about the inversion of this. If you're an agency and you're giving free leads to an agent and they don't sell, you're at potential risk to lose the value that's built up in those leads, and you could have lost money. So there's just a risk movement from the agency to agent, and with higher risk should come higher reward, right? So that should be how it is, and I keep saying should because a lot of times it just isn't. There are agencies out there that say they've got these high commissions, and then you look at their comp grid and it's the higher priced products, the shoddier products, and the ones you really want to have are 20, 30 points lower. Of course, they don't tell you this when they recruit you, so you got to do your due diligence. But you can find agencies like mine that will give you top commission in exchange for investing in your own leads. And my thinking always is that by doing that, by investing in your own leads, if you're really a top producer, you're going to make top comp. Because again, when you move that risk from the agency to to the agent with the lead risk, then the agency is going to want to have assurances that you're not going to waste their money. So it's likely the commission you'll be at a free lead program, unless you just got a steal of a deal, is going to be a lot lower. And if you produce the same percentage of business as on the free lead program as you do paying for your own, you're probably going to make a heck of a lot more money as an agency or as an agent who's buying their own leads versus one that's free. Next on the list here is when you buy your own leads, you're probably an independent agent and you probably own your own book of business. Okay, so you are vested and have your commissions coming back to you in the form of renewals and as-earned commission. Where with many of the free lead programs out there, you're not actively vested in your business. Not always the case, but you might be paid by the carrier or by the agency instead. And then if you leave that company, you might lose all those residuals and renewals, et cetera, that you had built through the production of your business. Again, if you don't know about this, vesting means who owns the block of business, thus the cash flows from renewals and as-earned commission. As an agent, it's ideal to own that. And it's more likely you're going to own that if you're paying for your own leads, and very unlikely if you don't. And there's consequences, right? Because if you're building a residual-based opportunity or an agency and you don't get those residuals anymore after all that blood, sweat, and tears of building, that costs a lot of money for that small benefit of free leads. Next on the list here, you typically, when you do have and pay for your own leads, you have some level of managerial autonomy. You don't have to be micromanaged because it's your money on the line. Whereas with an agency that provides you leads, their expectation is, hey, here's free leads. And yes, here's me managing you, micromanaging you, and making sure that you go out there and work and pull some money out of this, because that person or that agency is at risk of loss if that doesn't happen. So that means there's a difference in the sense that if you are getting free leads, it's like you're working a job. But if you're getting your own leads and investing, it's like you're running your own business. So you're not going to be as harassed as much about performance. So what's the takeaways here? At the end of the day, guys, there's pros and cons to all of these, but understand there's no such thing as a free lunch, all right? You're going to have consequences economically and managerially if you are provided leads without cost to you. It's just the way the world works. So you can only understand that when somebody's money's on the line, they're going to expect some level of performance and not treat you necessarily as much of a business partner, but more as an employee. So if you are understanding of that and you're in a position financially where you can invest leads or don't want to, then the free lead program may make sense for you. If you're more entrepreneurially based, you don't want to be micromanaged, you want to run your business, you do fine on your own as far as managing yourself, and you want the freedom that comes with putting your money at play, like owning your book of business and maximize your commissions, then it's probably better to generate your own leads and not worry about getting them for free and taking all the hits that are required to take when you're in that position. So again, my advocacy, guys, is that most agents probably should, who are entrepreneurially based, be on the latter program where they buy their own leads. And if you're an employee-based person, there's nothing wrong with that. If you just want a job and you just want to go sell insurance and not worry about managing a business, then you probably should get into a lead program where it's provided. And you probably find a better fit there. So there's my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to learn more about joining my agency, click the links above or below. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time.